How do you give Virginia Tech a spot in a BCS game when they didn't beat a single top 25 team all year? Not one. As far as that goes, Missouri's in a bowl game, the Independence Bowl, for, the 17th time in the last 20 years? Seems to be the only bowl game they go to. Here's the biggest joke, though. Illinois and UCLA are playing in a bowl game. They're playing each other. That might be apropos. More appropriate is it's called the Fight Hunger Bowl. I'm going to be hungry for some real football if I watch that game. Illinois lost their last 6. UCLA was under 500. And they're in bowl games? Since when is a bowl game a reward for a good season? Used to be. Not anymore. Not if you can lose your last 6 and still get in, and if you can go under 500 and get in.
Think we got a chance to be dynamite next year?
I don't think so. Speaking of no dynamite, the Rams get shut out in Candlestick Park yesterday by the 49ers, 26-0. 49ers win the championship in Jim Harbaugh's first year. Do you get the feeling that the clock is ticking on Steve Spagnuolo's time here? 2 wins this year, 1 win his first year, 7 in the year in between. And this team is getting worse. Absolutely, positively worse. Now, we have a lot of writers in this town who want Stan Kroenke to step up and say something. Why should he? He owns the team. He's not the PR spokesman. I can guarantee you Stan Kroenke will make decisions when the time for decision-making comes. He doesn't feel any need to make a decision now on Spagnuolo. Maybe he has made the decision, but not to announce it. What good would it do? This team's going nowhere. What's an interim coach going to do? Nothing is the answer. Albert Pujols and the Cardinals supposedly going to get together and talk a little bit during the winter meetings. I don't believe any chance of a deal is going to come out of these meetings unless all of the other teams tell Pujols, here's what our offer is. I don't believe that'll happen. I don't believe many teams are going to make him an offer. I believe he'll be back with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals would be absolute fools to tweak any offer that they've already made, if indeed that offer even remains on the table. I always hate it when a coach has faulty strategy, stupid strategy, and then defends it and says, I'd do it again. Spagnuolo's good at that. He likes to do that all the time. And yesterday, Jason Garrett, the head coach of the Cowboys, whom I know personally and know to be a very bright guy, went to Princeton. I think he's a great coach, but he made a stupid mistake. The Cowboys had 2 timeouts left when they moved to the 31-yard line of Arizona with 26 seconds left. You know what they did? They didn't run another play. They used a timeout with 7 seconds left, and then when their kicker went to kick the game-winning 49-yard field goal, he called another one. He did a pinkle. He iced his own kicker. And guess what happened? His kicker missed the second one. That happened against Arizona State earlier this year for Missouri. It must be happening in Arizona all the time. Seems that visiting coaches ice their own kickers when they come to the state of Arizona. I guess they're just hot by that time and they have to ice somebody. So they ice their kicker. But my favorite is the explanation. Now, logically, you call a timeout, 26 seconds left, take a couple more shots, try to get closer, wouldn't you? Of course you would. Jason Garrett said he wanted to make sure that his field goal unit was settled before they kicked the game-winning field goal. Well, you just had a timeout. Why'd you have to call another one? He says he was concerned the play clock was running down.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't. He says we could have very well taken a timeout with 26 seconds left. We felt like we were in field goal range. We have yard lines that we use as guidelines before the game. We felt like we were in range at that point. Tony had them on the line of scrimmage quickly, so we went ahead and clocked it and used that as a timeout. What does he mean by clocked it? Anybody understand this so far? I don't. He says you see so many situations where you have negative plays in those situations. We felt like we were in his range to give him a chance to kick the game winner. Not shockingly, Jerry Jones disagreed with the strategy. Uh-oh. That could be problematical. All right, folks, that's the Marshall Wireless rant for today. Your responses are welcome at 969-0590. Toll free 866-326-0590. Can you believe Illinois and UCLA are playing in a bowl game?
I can.
Not only do I have no interest in the so-called national championship game, but how can anyone drum up interest in that game?